What is it that people say? Teamwork makes the dream work. Well, today on Life's Potluck Buffet, we're going to talk about collaboration. I don't think there are any sayings that are so catchy about collaboration. Collaboration makes for elaboration. Well, maybe we'll come up with one. So stick around. I'm John Paulus. Thanks for joining me today. So, as always, I'll ask the cards our question. Cards, how do we collaborate better with others? How do I do this? Help us out. So, today, I'm going to do, as usual, 3 casual shuffles. Remember, the bottom card is always the last episode's card, the last card drawn on the last episode, which in this case is reveal your hidden work to yourself and others, if you'll remember that. So let me shuffle 3 casual shuffles, and then I will shuffle the whole deck. Okay, then I'm always looking for a gap in the cards. This one, I think this one is the gap. Okay, so I'm going to split it right there. Sometimes there are lots of gaps that I can see when I've shuffled them, but this time there was a pretty clear one. So we'll draw this card. Wow, this is a good one. And it says, we are all good ones. We all are good ones. You might remember this from an episode a few months back. This is card 25. Think of a situation where you've heard someone else speak, or perhaps where you were speaking, in harsh judgment of another person's identity or abilities. Now imagine telling everyone involved that they are good ones, including yourself. So, this is a really... Thank you, cards, as always. I mean, this is the perfect card to talk about collaboration because it's talking about working together in a way that is productive and that doesn't get in the way of teamwork. And there's nothing that gets in the way of teamwork more than not having good relationships with each other, good professional relationships. And good professional relationships start from the inside. They start from us saying that we are good and we're good, right? In that sense, like everything's okay. And having that outlook rather than allowing something to get in your way that is really, it's really our own issue that we take out on others. Remember that really important rule of Life's Potluck Buffet, that story you just told was about you, and all of those cards in the Life's Potluck Buffet deck about how the when you are in a bad situation yourself, when we're in these bad situations, we tend to take it out on others. We know that. And then being aware of the fact that stories that you're telling about other people, in this case bad stories, that you're telling to the people themselves, to their face, are really the most egregious example of turning these bad feelings about ourselves and this lack of self-awareness that we have into something that we turn against others and hurt others. And so understanding that when you speak in harsh judgment of someone else, that you're just telling a story about yourself and you're not realizing it. I know this is a fact, and I'm always on the lookout for this in myself. And I also look out for it in others, because the surest way to get a sense of people's motivations is to understand where they're operating from in terms of their relationship to themselves. We talked about that a lot yesterday. And I think in this case, we are thinking about that very thing. So this is a really great tip, is to come in with an open heart, an open mind, and with love to your collaborations. And we see how this works. And it also, not only does it help us collaborate better with others, but it helps us understand our collaborations. Because if you're collaborating in a way, and again, we talked about this yesterday in terms of motivations, if you're collaborating in a situation where maybe the people you're collaborating with don't have the same intentions, maybe those intentions and your intentions are never going to square up. And we have to accept that. And this is really about acceptance. First and foremost, a kind of self-acceptance, and then acceptance of others, because it has to proceed from that. You can't be accepting of others if you don't accept yourself. That's a fact. And Professor RuPaul wisely has a saying about that, which we all know. And it's true, because that internal monologue that we have with ourselves that tells that when we tell ourselves, oh, we're no good, we end up then taking that out on others. Sometimes we'd like to kind of think of this as a kind of humility where we're trying to say, oh, well, we're no good, but you're good, right? That doesn't work that way. Holding those two things at the same time are just not possible. We cannot hold that others are good if we do not hold that we are good. So keep that in mind and understand that when we're saying we are all good ones, that includes each and every one of us. It doesn't eliminate or exclude anyone. And approaching situations with that outlook will create a situation where you're working from strength every time, because that self-acceptance and love, etc., all of those things, that care, those are positions of strength. And when we operate with those things, with care, with love, with self-acceptance, with acceptance, therefore, of others, then we're always working from our strongest point. And we have to realize that. If we're working from denying things about ourselves, if we're working from the non-acceptance of others because we don't accept ourselves, if we're working from a place of the opposite of care, and if we're working from a place of the opposite of love, lack of love, lack of care. I like to use the word lack instead of the opposite, because as we know from some of the cards in Life's Potluck Buffet, love and hate, and also as we know from Spike Lee's movie Do the Right Thing, it's love and hate are kind of are two sides of the same coin. They're two sides of the same coin, and they're not opposites. And we know this from time immemorial. Poetry has been written about this for millennia, about how love and hate are the same, right? Two sides of the same coin. So understanding that the opposite of love in this case is lack of love, the opposite of care in this case is lack of care. You could care less, right, about something, someone, situation. And the someones are the most important here. People always come first in the world of Life's Potluck Buffet, right? So keep all of this in mind. Know that we are all good ones, including me and including you. And remember to keep that in mind as you go forth and collaborate with others. And I still need to come up with some sort of jingle, like collaboration makes elaboration. Oh, I got a good saying. How about collaborate and you'll be able to tabulate all your successes? Okay, well, that's the best I'm going to do today. If you have a better saying, let me know in the comments. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time on Life's Potluck Buffet.